Welcome to Trulywicked Crafts Flosstube. I am Ava. I am known as Trulywicked Crafts on Etsy, on Tumblr, on Instagram. I'm known as Trulywicked of Y on Twitter, Trulywicked on Ravelry. And I have a page up on Facebook for Trulywicked Crafts. I will link all of that and anything else that has a link in the down bar in the description box below. Thank you for coming back, if you're back for more, and a big hi and hello and a welcome to anyone new finding me. Buckle up. There may be cursing, so if you have any little ones around, I would suggest earbuds or waiting until they're dead asleep. I do not apologize for things because I don't really have anything to be sorry about. I will if, like, I cough or sneeze or make a really, really rude noise. I will say excuse me because that's just good manners, and my granny taught me good manners, and she would probably actually go from across town to here to smack me for not saying excuse me. I learned well as a child. It's been a few weeks since I last recorded. A lot of things happened. In my last video, I was wearing a wrist brace because I had jacked up my wrist. That was the reason I did not record the week following. Because I had done no stitching. I could not do any stitching. I couldn't cross stitch. I couldn't crochet. I couldn't knit. I couldn't even sew on my sewing machine. The only thing I was capable of doing was cutting out fabric for project bags, which eventually will be assembled and I'll show them on here. Though I do actually have two to show you. So that was the reason I missed that week. The reason I missed the next week is my cat died. I'm not up to discussing the whole story of my cat's decline and death, because if I do, I will break down in sobs, and I'm not talking about regular sobbing. I will start ugly crying. And I don't really think we're ready for that on this channel. My grandpa, my father's father, also died. I am not as upset about that as I am about my cat, because I've met the man once, and that particular branch of the family doesn't really keep in touch with me, so there weren't really very many emotional connections formed. I feel bad for my father, and I feel bad for my brother, because they both live out in Colorado, where my grandpa was. So they were both really close to him, and I feel bad for them, but I am not in any... I can't. I don't feel the grief that they feel. I also had a cousin die, someone I think I maybe met once in my life. So that's 3. Enough for this year, please, Death. Please, no more. Please, no more. Please. I know 2 of them I weren't very emotionally connected with, but come on. Please don't. What else? Yeah, that's 2 weeks, and things just kind of sort of fell off to the side, and I lost track of time after that. And I was also dealing with former friend drama, which, if you're a member of the Stitchers Coven Facebook group or the Bewitched Stitches Facebook group, you will know all about it, because I talked all about it. Said former friend has now been blocked, so I will not be dealing with that mess any further. So that was that. What actually drove me to finally record today instead of waiting till next Wednesday is because, in case any of you who are watching this have not seen it or heard about it, Etsy. They are bumping up their seller fees, which is when someone purchases your product, Etsy takes a percentage off the profit as a fee for pretty much hosting your product and getting you sold. That's basically what they do, which is fine. It's cool. When you sign up for Etsy, you pretty much agree to that. Ow. They're bumping up the seller fees, which not exactly nice, but from 3.5% to 5%. Not exactly nice, but sort of understandable. The big jump is kind of sketchy, but I'm not too mad about that. But here's the thing. They are also applying a 5% charge to the shipping. No. Because it's not like Etsy is paying for the shipping. The shipping is paid for, well, by the customer, yes, but it's the seller who pays the shipping after the buyer has bought their product. And until Etsy deposits all the money in the seller's account, they're technically out the shipping charge. No. But now they're putting a 5%, now they intend to put a 5% fee on the shipping and handling charges. That is not cool. That is not cool. I do not print out Etsy shipping labels, because not only do I find it cheaper to actually go to my local post office, which technically I could walk there if I really wanted to. I don't really want to. But they're close enough that it's not a big deal for me to go to my local post office every Friday and mail off what I need to mail off. To, like, go through the line. It's not a big deal. Especially if it's domestic. Then I can just do the kiosk, which is glorious. My sinuses are draining, so excuse me for clearing my throat. But Etsy's new CEO has the balls to try and apply a fee to shipping and handling. What? No. There's going to be a link in the description box to a petition. Sign it. If you shop on Etsy, if you sell on Etsy, maybe it won't make the greedy sucker listen, but at least he will be aware. People ain't pleased. And, I mean, it's hard enough to sell on Etsy as it is. Now you're applying fees where we can't afford to pay them? What? No. Shipping is expensive enough. Ugh. Just makes me want to take my hands and wring somebody's neck. Like a wild chicken. Just like a hey. With a long skinny neck. So that actually drove me to come to finally record, no matter how late it was, and just go sign this petition, make your voice heard, make sure this CEO knows, no, we don't like this, no. Like I said, maybe it won't do squat, but with any luck, maybe he'll listen. Fingers crossed. Odds are low, but still, fingers crossed. Shake that off. Okay. On to actually stitchy goodness. Now, I guess first will be the Sal admin. The Witchy Shadows Sal. There's a group for that. Again, linked in the description box. It will start July 13th and run through till October 31st. Over in the group, there is a giveaway currently going on. So, you know, if you want to join the Sal, you can go ahead and join the group and maybe sign in for the giveaway. It's for a project bag, which I will be showing a little later on. No, I'll show it now. I'll show them now. Yes, them. Come on, slide on out of there. Thank you. Now, I made two, and they're a little different. One will be, whoever wins the giveaway will have their choice of which bag they want. I'm going to hold them both up at the same time so you can see them, see that they are different. This is the one I made first. Now, it's got a handle that goes up here. All of my project bags that I've made in the past have a handle sewn into the side. Handle, strap, whatever you want to call it. That hangs off of there, so it'd be hanging like this. But I decided to try this one. This particular style handle. So there's the fabric. Isn't it pretty? Little witchy shadows, because witchy shadows shall. Witchy shadows sal. Little moons and stars, because if you go to the Facebook page, Facebook group for it, the witch is going across the moon. And its zipper is up top, because that's how I've always made project bags. This is the inside fabric. Oh, it's luscious. I love this. I love this kind of splotchy, almost like alcohol distressed type fabric. Now I didn't have enough of this fabric to make a second one just like this. Didn't even have enough to make a second bag just like this of the witchy fabric, because it was, you know, the witchy fabric was a little narrower, what I was left with after I made that one. So here's the second bag. Let's now, I'm not going to turn off the lights, but the moons and stars in this one, they glow. They glow. I just got it because it was as close to this as I could find. And I will link the shop that I got this from in the description box, because I cannot remember for the life of me. I think it might be Stitch Stash Diva, but I am not sure. But anywho, it glows, and I love that. And as you can see, that top's just a little teeny tiny bit bigger than the bottom. The bottom corners are squared. You will definitely be able to fit an 11 by 11 Q-snap will definitely fit in this, because one of them is 16 by 15 3/4 inches, and the other is 15.5 inches by 15 3/4 inches. I forget which is which. It's written down somewhere else. So, and it's got the same lining fabric. And it's pretty. But whoever wins the giveaway over on the Witchy Shadow Sal group will choose which one of those they want, and the other one will be available for sale. I don't know if I'm going to sell it on Etsy or if I'm going to sell it on my Facebook page. I don't know. But that's not the only cross-stitchy related, but not cross-stitching craftiness I got up to. I also did a little experiment in tea dyeing. And the reason why I call it an experiment is because I did not use regular tea. I did not use black tea. I did not use green tea. I did not use rooibos. I didn't use chai, which I have actually seen some people do tea dyeing with chai, and it's kind of amazing. Because, oh my god, just the idea of how amazing that would smell. I may have to do that. So, there is a tea. Now, I usually get my loose leaf teas through Adagio Tea. And when the last blue moon came, they only sell this particular tea when the blue moon is up. And there's not going to be another blue moon until 2020. Dang. But it's called Bella Luna Blue. The tea, the tea steeped is blue. The tea itself is blue because it includes something called butterfly pea flower, and that makes a blue tea, blue infusion, if I remember my tea lingo correctly. It's an herbal tea, and I've never tea dyed anything with herbal teas before, but it was blue tea. I had to try. I got some butterfly pea flower, just the flowers, because the Bella Luna Blue has like lemongrass in it as well. But I got butterfly pea flower, just that, from Amazon, to try tea dyeing some Ada with butterfly pea flower tea. And what I did was I rolled up 18 count Ada, and what I did was, you know how you prepare fabric for dyeing it. You kind of soak or wash it with like some liquid dish soap usually. At least that's what I do for cottons. And leave it soaking while you prepare your dye bath. Well, what I did was, while my fabric was still wet, I sprinkled the butterfly pea flowers over the fabric, and then rolled up the fabric and tied the fabric up. And this is the result. Is that not gorgeous? It looks a little darker. It looks a little darker on camera than it actually is. It's this really lovely sort of light sky blue with a few darker blue splotches where like the flowers were resting. But oh my god, it's gorgeous! I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. And it is definitely set, because I have washed it multiple times already, using like regular clothes detergent even. And this reacts really interestingly to heat. Really interestingly. When I run an iron over this, it turns gray. And then as it cools down, it goes back to blue. I have no idea how this is going to stand the test of time. I have no idea what's going to happen when I finally stitch something on it. I don't know what I'm going to stitch on it, but it's going to be amazing. But when I do stitch on it and do my thing, and we will see how it wears through time. But oh my god, I love it. I love it. I'm so happy I tried that experiment. I'm not going to buy any more butterfly pea flower to try it to do it again, but I like that. So that's really the only tangible, stitchy related, but not stitching the craft that I've done. I sort of created a pattern while I could not use my wrist. I have a plan for next May, because it's sort of inspired by Maui Jin of the Dark Side Stitchers, Homicidal Mania. Next year, I intend to have my own little mermania. I'm going to either start or work on, because I may not be able to restrain myself from starting a few of the patterns that I currently have, a mermaid pattern every day for 19 days in May. Yeah, of next year, obviously, since May is very well gone from this year. So it's kind of hard to find genuinely free patterns. And by hard, I mean mermaid patterns. And by hard, I mean when you search out free mermaid pattern, what comes up more often than not is stuff from Pinterest. Pinterest is a dangerous well to dip in if you're looking for a free pattern, because Pinterest does tend to, sadly, it does tend to be rife with pattern pirates. Not cool, folks. So, I was kind of not finding as many patterns as I was hoping for. So I decided, okay, let me make my own. And then my brain went, wait a minute, you have that Sleepy Hollow collection from Victorian Moto Sampler Shop. You want to use that on one project. Or use the majority of that on one project. Make a mermaid pattern! So, of course, I decided to start making a mermaid pattern with the Victorian Moto Sampler Sleepy Hollow collection and the little freebie she sent with it. Well, I did make one, and it's nice and kind of creepy. I say kind of creepy because I will put a picture in at the end of what I came up with. But it's slightly creepy because it involves a skull and a shark. Of course, you have the mermaid. But in designing it, I also wound up realizing I was going to need more colors. So there will be a Shop Brownie section, people. Good Lord. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. Picture of the pattern I came up with will be at the end of the video. Now that I've blathered on about all that, how about I show you actual cross stitching, shall I? That would be a good idea, right? Number 1, I have an FFO. I fully finished something off. Bam, baby. I finished my Nevermore Biscornu. Look at it. Look at it. Isn't it pretty? I never could find any raven buttons that I was happy with for it. So instead, I found some black feather buttons. I don't remember the shop name, but it will be in the description bar, as always. And in case you're wondering about the fabric that I used for that, because that is lovely fabric, is it not? I don't remember if I mentioned it in any of my previous videos or not, but I dyed that myself. It came from a stash that my granny passed on, and I don't think it's cotton. Because it does not feel like cotton. But it certainly takes dye like cotton. So, there's an FFO. I have an FO. I have a foe. I have a foe. Y'all remember the bell? I lost something else, and in looking for it, I found the frickin' bell. So, Woodland Sleigh from Mill Hill. Look at all the beads. And it's on Charles Craft Stardust. So, that's a finished object. And I don't know exactly how I'm going to FFO it. It's going to be made into an ornament, but I'm not sure, you know, if it's going to be a square ornament or if I'm actually going to try and trim around and sew around so it's vaguely sleigh shaped. And if you hold it up to your ear and wriggle it, the bell does jingle. So, sniffo. I just started this a couple nights ago because I finished that one off. And there's not much of it, but I also started the evergreen sleigh, so that's all I've gotten done on that so far. Not much. Not much. I don't have the little... I don't have the picture. The picture is floating around somewhere in my craft cave. Or my craft hole, whatever you want to call it. My next whip. And it is a whip. It's an ongoing whip. But this is the Clouds Factory Creature Sow. Their year-long stitch-along for this year. The critter this time is called a duende. I think that's how I think that's it. I'm probably murdering the pronunciation. I'll like put the word here. But I look at this and I read the description. I'm going, that is a frickin' brownie. Like, dude, seriously. According to the description, these little critters are like helpful sprites that help out in the forest and around the home. That's a freaking brownie. And look at it. Look at him. Look at how cute he is. I love brownies. As I'm sure you're aware, because I have shot brownies all over the place. But he's on a little mushroom. He's got a little bare feet and a little beard. Look at his little curly hat. Brownies and gnomes, people. Brownies and gnomes. I love them. I love him so much I actually put beads in the daisy for him. Because, you know, brownies. They like sparkly stuff. But that's just one of the letters for this month. The next letter is an E for elemental. It's a water elemental. Oh my god! I can't wait to stitch that, but I'm kind of going gangbusters on another whip because I kind of hope, fingers crossed, people, fingers crossed, to have this next whip done by the end of June, so I don't completely lose my mind doing the Witchy Shadows Sow. Doing my midnight brew. So, let me slide the pattern off because I have the pattern stuck on there with needle minders. And flip it over. This is Remember Me. I started on June 1st by... Let me straighten that out. By Birds of a Feather. And I've gotten all the black on the witch done. All of it. And you can kind of see in the back, you can see where I carried a thread because I forgot to put in the eye stitch up there. I don't care. I don't care that you can see it right now, because when I fill in the rest of the witch, you will not be able to see that. So, don't care. But yeah, I've got I'm doing it in all the called for colors. We've got the witch's hands, her boots, and her stockings. And I have all the words except, you know, the date and deal done. And, okay, this needle minder is from, I think it's Faye's Crafty Creations on Etsy. She's the Faye behind Love for Cross Stitch, and is the social media genius who is helping out the amazing Brian of Boo Butterfly. These two are needle minders that they're buttons from Dress It Up, that deal that I just stuck magnets on the back of and made my own needle minders. So yeah. Not a bad amount for 15 days. Yep, not bad at all. So, those are my whips. I haven't actually worked on anything else this month. In the time since you have said hello, since you last said hello to me, or since I last said hello to you. Reaching again. So, shop brownies. Yes, people, the brownies have come to visit. The brownies came to visit. Good Lord, did the brownies come to visit? Well, it's been 3 weeks. Of course the brownies came to visit. So, first of all, I'm not going to go in chronological order on this, because I don't remember what came first. But, I got this. Glare! Oh my Lord, the glare! I'm gonna have to reach for that again later. Alright, here. Come here. Out of there. Out. Come out. Out of the bag. Out of the bag. Get out of the bag. Good Lord, how did they even get you in there? Alright, there we go. Siren's Tart by Plum Street Samplers. This is going to be part of my Mermania next year. But look at that. I love it. Her hair is brown. And she's got like little threads, and she's all sewing, and she's even got a little needle in her hand. Look at the little needle. You can see the little needle. I'm used to the camera being over on this side. And I got like the full kit, including the tart pan, which fell off somewhere over there. But I got the fabric as well, but I don't know if I like that. Because like photography, photographing blues and purples can be some of the biggest pain in the butt. But, yeah, I think I'm gonna either dye or find some fabric that's a little lighter than this and more blue. Because, ocean. This is gray. I'll find something else to do on this. I will find something else to do on it. But that is the called for linen. Linen? Is it linen? Well, it's from Weeks Dye Works. It is 32 count dolphin. Doesn't say if it's linen or not, but I'd vote for linen because it's definitely got the linen look. Bing. But let's see, what have we got? And it has like flosses. The flosses. They're all Weeks Dye Works. So if I run out of any of them, easy peasy to if I decide to stitch a larger version, if I decide not to stitch on 32 count and stitch a larger version, which I don't think I will. I will definitely go for the 36 count. But I can easily get more of that floss if I don't want to play with the colors. So that came. Glorious mermaids. I love me mermaids. I really, really do. I have ever since The Little Mermaid came out. So, of course, I also got this. My name's Ava. Hello. Have we met? Of course, I had to get Letters for Mermaids. The A by Nora Corbett. I do not know if I'm going to go with the colors because they're all crescent colors. And there's, of course, Krennic, and there are beads, which I will definitely go for the beads and the Krennic as is. But I don't know about getting all those colors. I don't know. I may just I may just get the colors involved in like the waves because those are gorgeous blues. I don't know. I may not. I don't know what I'm going to do. No clue. But I also got a million billion, not a million billion, but I got a significant number of digital patterns, which, why am I thinking about showing them right now? I want to show the other stuff first. Hello. My brain, I tell you. Okay. This is a needle minder / scissor keeper, because the scissors go in here. I know what it's made of. It's made of a jewelry bale. It's a little Celtic heart. I love it. It's from Silks for You. I also got some little sheet mother of pearl buttons that I cannot find because they have fallen somewhere in the crafty cave area of my life. But when I find them, I will show them because they're frickin' adorable. But I have the By the Sea pattern and the silk berry, mermaid silk berry pattern by Erica Michaels, and it's also like the Siren's Tart. It's going to become part of my Mermania for next May, so I am slowly kitting that up, and I may be getting more. May have gotten more of these more of certain flosses than I needed, but I'd rather have them and not run out, you know? So, Weeks Dye Works Putty. Okay, there we go. It's kind of like a mix between khaki and olive. And Gentle Art Sampler Threads Tropical Ocean. Oh my god, it's pretty. It's really pretty. I am actually kind of hoping I got too much of this because that's going to be fun to play with if I have extra. And this is Gentle Art Sampler, but they're simply from their Simply Shaker line. And all the rest of these are gassed. Ohio Lemon Pie. That's too bright. It's showing up far too bright. It's kind of like this sort of like almost like you took bright neon lemon yellow and dipped it in a gray wash. Just the faintest hint of it, so it's not as bright as neon lemon yellow. but it's not like really, really faded in, I guess, prem color, I guess. Even though it says Simply Shaker, but it's, you know, it's kind of hard to describe. I meant to get 2 of these, and I wound up only getting 1, but this is oatmeal. And gas. And this is Freedom. It's a very, I wouldn't call it denim blue, but it's like, almost like dark wash denim. Deep sea, which is really pretty. Oh my gosh, really pretty. And this color has me drooling and absolutely determined to get more at some point. Mediterranean Sea. Oh my god, gorgeous. So glorious, so pretty. So pretty. Oh my gosh. So, flosses. And also in the realm of flosses. Okay, now I've had this Sleepy Hollow collection for a little while, so I'm not going to show that off. But when I came up with my mermaid pattern, I was hit with a realization. And that realization was that all of the little things I had created in that pattern, I was going to need more colors. Now, of course, I could have gone strictly DMC, but I decided, no, I'm going to hit up Victorian Motto Sampler Shop for more. For all the rest of the colors. And so I did. There's only a couple little spots in there that require black or the like of it, or something similar to black. So I got Midnight Hour, and its DMC conversion is 939, and it is a very, 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 very deep medium blue. Not medium blue. Deep navy. Almost with a purple hint. Almost with a hint of purple in it. That just does not capture the color right. It doesn't. It's gorgeous. And I like just need it for like maybe the skull sockets, or maybe if I have charcoal left over after I'm done with Remember Me, I might use the charcoal for the skull sockets and use this for the rest, for any of the shading or black around the ship, of which there are only like a few little stitches. I could have used DMC 310, but I didn't want to. In the pattern, there is a little octopus tentacle reaching up over a ship railing. So you can see little suckers in the underside and just a hint of the outer of it. So I got this rose verbena for the suckers, and possibly for the mermaid's lips. I may go a darker color for the mermaid's lips. I don't know yet. But this DMC conversion is 152/3733. But yeah, isn't that pretty? I have a shark in the pattern, and I have an anchor, and a shark, an anchor, a pot, and a barrel with like bands, so I needed grays. This is a little too light for the shark for my liking, but it's called Silver Lining, and its DMC conversion is 648. And it's this really nice, light, silvery gray. And it's going to be used for the anchor and the pot and the barrel bands. The other gray I got, which I am going to be using for the shark, is called October Sky. There's no DMC conversion. But it's got this really medium neutral gray, but then it also has these like bluey gray sections. And I think it'll look really good, sort of like the light dappling over the light dabbling over the shark skin. I like it a lot. And I got this for the underside of the octopus's tentacles. It's called Bleeding Heart. There is no DMC conversion. I may use this instead of rose verbena for the mermaid's lips, because look at that. I know exactly what these colors are from, like where they're inspired from. The Bleeding Heart plant, have you ever seen those? My granny had one when I was growing up, and it was just gorgeous. And of course I needed white for the skull. I decided to go with an Ecru equivalent. This is called Antique Stripes. The shark is an oceanic white tip, is what it's based off of. So I'm kind of thinking that maybe instead of this, I'll actually use DMC white for that, because, well, I can't justify another Victorian Moto Sampler Shop order. I'd like to, but I can't. And this is what I got for the sand. Havana Brown, and the DMC conversion is 642/841. And it's a nice muted sandy bottom color. Now, I got this Desert Rocks for her skin. I did not get any of the pale peach because I wanted a little more variety in my mermaid. So I got an equivalent to DMC for 36. And it is perfect. It is absolutely perfect for a nice, I don't know, Caribbean? I don't know the right term. I don't know if I'm, yeah, I can't quite reach into my brain and pull out the right terminology. I don't know if it's Caribbean, Cuban that I'm thinking of, or something else. I'm not sure. But that's the base color for the skin. This is going to be the shading. And this color I got because I didn't know if I wanted to use it for, maybe instead of using a color that I already have from the Sleepy Hollow collection for the outside of the octopus tentacle, but it's a little different in person than it is on the in pictures. And it's called Antique Cherry, DMC conversion to 356. I'm trying to read it backwards. And 3380. And it wasn't as red as I expected from the picture, but that's okay because I'm going to use it for the skin's backstitch. See? Things work out. So, Lord help me. But that's several weeks worth of stuff. Of like materials. But of course, patterns. I have this to put my digital patterns in. Now, if you are a member of the Bewitched Stitches group, or Stitcher's Coven, I think she's in Stitcher's Coven as well, you know about Witchy Stitch. The Witchy Stitcher. Witchy Stitch. I have gotten some of her patterns. I saw this. I needed it immediately. I feel a sin coming on. That's going to go on a bag or a shirt. This one I will stitch for me and for a friend. Stay home. It's too people-y out there. It's so me. It's almost painful. Also, G-Stitcher. This is a freebie. Through her newsletter, I think. But it's a little vampire. You're my type. I love it. So cute. And of course, you have seen this before. This is my Midnight Brew pattern. And you have seen La Luna. Now, remember I mentioned Pinterest and trying to find free mermaid patterns. I saw this on Pinterest. And I was like, ooh, really want to stitch that. And it was the graft pattern. It was the pattern. I was like, is that really a freebie? And I clicked on it, and not only have they put this pattern in its entirety up on Pinterest, on their Pinterest page. And I know it's not the designer who did it, or the magazine, but they actually put where it came from, what magazine, who the designer was, all of that info. All of it. And instead of, you know, just like doing a cover page, whatever, of a finish, or, you know, they pretty much pirated the pattern, and I was like, dang it. I was so mad because I couldn't find the magazine it was in for sale anywhere. So I decided, just on Wild Hair, to look up Leslie Chair's, because that's the designer, Leslie Chair. Look up her website, and it was on there. So I bought it. Because I was massively offended on her behalf. But look at that. Look at how pretty and gorgeous. I may change the hair to be a little darker, but is that not glorious? That is glorious. And it's the Fantasy Mermaid. It was in a magazine that I cannot remember the name of. And I already love Midnight Brew, even though I haven't stitched it yet. Autumn Lane Stitchery put out a new pattern. They put out a mermaid pattern. You bet your ass I'm doing this. Look at that. It's called the Curious Mermaid. Look at how pretty that is. It's so detailed. I want it stitched up and in my life. Okay. Now, I found another, while searching for mermaid patterns, on Etsy this time, I found someone whose shop was having a sale, so I got each of these patterns for $2 each. So, I was very pleased about that. I got 3 patterns. I haven't printed out the third yet. But the third is like a little picture of Link from The Legend of Zelda. Underneath him is, you know, the 8-bit Link, and underneath him is Don't Call Me Zelda. But there were others on there that I absolutely had to get. I'll show you the mermaid I found first. Salty but sweet. She got brown hair. I may change the tail colors, but I love it. Definitely going to be stitching that for my Mermania. And then this one, which not only do I feel this on a soul deep level, but it's funny. And, darlings, just fair warning, this has a curse word in it, so do not let any children see it or hear what I'm about to say. Hold my dignity. I've got sketchy shit to do. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's basically hold my beer. And I love it. I love it. And I shall stitch it as soon as I clear my plate some. Which may not happen anytime soon. Okay. Now. Let's continue on. Good Lord, we're already at 55 minutes. This is longer than my first episode. Or this is going to be longer than my first episode. Oh. Right. I forgot to show these. There were also 3 others with that Victorian Moto sampler that I got thinking they might work for colors. Black Forest did not look particularly green in the picture because photography, it's hard to capture the colors correctly. It's this nice olive army green color, and there is no DMC conversion. So that doesn't work for any of the colors, but it's nice. I'll use it in something. And I also bought Highland Heather because it looked gray in the pictures. As you can see, it's this nice pale heather color and no DMC conversion. Again, I will find something to do with that. No problem with that. And this was a free sample she sent. Again, no DMC conversion, but it's called May Lilacs. Isn't that pretty? Oh, so sweet and pretty. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I'll find something. But, at my library, I found a couple of things. One of these things I will be recording a flip through of later, like either tomorrow or next Flosstube later, which will be on Wednesday. And it's this that I will be recording a flip through of. Subversive Cross Stitch. 50 clever designs for your sassy side. I will be doing a flip through of this, and there are several in here that both my mother and I have looked at, and she looks directly at me and says, "That is absolutely you." Because my mother knows me. I found that at my local library, and I also found something else. This woman is quickly becoming one of my favorite designers. Ah! I moved! Earthquake! Sorry for the... I'm not sorry. I am not sorry. But excuse the shaking. I will not be doing a flip through of this because one of the Flosstubers I have been watching has already done a flip through of this. But this is Fantasy Cross Stitch by Leslie Tier. Oh my god. Now the main reason I actually picked this up was for, of course, the cover mermaid at my local library. Why I picked it up at my local library was, of course, the cover mermaid. Her. And there's a dragon in here. Go watch. Now. And I saw this, one of the Flosstubers that I have been pretty much devouring as of late is Bendy Stitchy Michelle Garrett. She did a flip through of this. You absolutely have to go watch it. Her channel and the link to that flip through will be, as always, in the description. As I've said many times today, and why do I keep repeating myself? I don't know. But it will be in the description box below. And that leads me into the other YouTube and other watchy stuff that I have been into, that I have watched lately. Due to everybody mentioning these ladies, I decided to check them out. And I checked them out on the TV with my mom sitting there. Because my mom sits there and reads, or if the mood strikes her, she actually stitches. It's kind of a miracle when that happens. I'm trying to get her to stitch more, because I want her here on here with me at least once. But these ladies, Pam and Steph, the ladies of Just Keep Stitching. I popped them up on our TV through, you know, through the browser app. We don't have a YouTube app on the TV, sadly. But I put them up there because as I was working on doing some sewing, or doing some, cutting out some interfacing, I wanted something to listen to and occasionally look up at to see. And it was their 50th episode that I brought up. And I just figured my mom would keep reading and just doing her thing, as she does. She actually put her book down to watch them. She doesn't do that for anything, just about. It's really hard to get her to actually put her book down. Even when we are watching the spooky shows that she absolutely loves, she won't put her book down. She doesn't do it. She'll be reading her book, and she'll glance up and look up when she hears something that sounds particularly interesting, as if they found evidence or something. Or if something has happened, if we're watching something like Paranormal Witness or Evil Things, which is something we binged Evil Things. But she actually put her book down to watch Pam and Steph. That does not happen, as I said. And she was laughing and grinning, and Pam and Steph gave my mom the most amazing moment of joy. And it's fantastic. And they're wonderful to watch. I love watching them. They're funny, and I love watching Pam's expression when Steph really starts going off on something. Because it's this perfect, amused mom look. Like the perfect mix of proud and you're so funny sometimes. You know, that particular mom look. And as for Bendy Stitchy, like I said, you absolutely need to check her channel out. She's really fun. Just fun. And I don't know how she manages to talk as quickly as she does. Because you see me, I pause all the time, and she just manages to keep up an excellent roll of her words without tripping over them very much. I don't know how she does it. And it's such a fun pattern to her speech. You should totally check her out. Go. Do it. Now. So those are the Flosstubers that I've been into. But YouTube stuff? I've been listening to a lot of Peter Hollins. I'm sure you know who Peter Hollins is. And if you don't, of course, go to the link. Go to the link. But I love his voice. Oh my gosh. I love his theatrical music videos. My favorite music video he's done, though, was the Assassin's Creed Parting Glass. Oh, I love it. It's so pretty. It's between that and Shenandoah. But I also found this other thing. Because I saw a clip of this guy on The Voice, one of the international voice competitions. And he sang, and he did Hard Rock Hallelujah. And it just made me wonder, it made me curious, has anyone ever actually done a cover of Hard Rock Hallelujah? Which is by Lordi. For those of you who are into hard rock, heavy metal, I'm sure you've heard it. It's far more metal than it is hard rock. But I looked for a cover. And I found one that just kind of made me sit back and go, oh? And it's by the exclusive Strings. That name should give you a hint. That's not really what you would normally find in hard rock. They are a string quartet. You know, violins, cellos, is there a bass? I don't know. And I was like, I've got to check this out. So I clicked the play, and you start hearing the strings playing the instrumental for Hard Rock Hallelujah. And you recognize it as Hard Rock Hallelujah, but they started off with classical strings. And it's really nice and pretty. And then a woman starts singing. And her voice with the classical strings singing Hard Rock Hallelujah for the first little bit just kind of felt just a step off. But it wasn't bad. It was really pretty, but it just didn't quite mesh into what I was hearing compared to what I was used to hearing. Then they sort of switched from, you know, classical violins and cellos, you know, the wood versions, to electronic, to electric violins and cello. So it was no longer just the classical, but with the sort of Lindsey Sterling edge, as I like to call it, to the song. And that blended with her voice and made it not better, but made it blend more with my expectations. So it was really cool. And I shared it on my Facebook page, and I probably pissed my brother off because he loves metal. And I'm not mad at it. I like it a lot. And then I'm going to start doing starting next FlosStube, I'm going to start talking about a song I've been into that week, or a favorite song from someone like you can only find on YouTube, or like a Renaissance band. And one of my favorite Renaissance bands are the Merry Wives of Windsor. So I've been listening to them a lot. And I will be linking a video of them performing every FlosStube after this one. And I will be talking about that particular song. Not in this one, but FlosStubes after this one, because we are at 1 hour and 16 minutes, and that's long enough to hear me babble, don't you think? So, that's all. That's everything I've been up to. I probably offended a few people out there. That's okay. And that's me done for the night. So, I hope y'all enjoyed spending time with me. Thank you for spending this time with me. Remember to hang around past the end, hang around long enough to see the picture of the pattern I came up with at the end, that I got all the Victorian Motto Sampler floss for, because I'm crazy. I hope life treats you kind, and I will see you next time. Take care, y'all. Bye.